Well, good morning. It's Tuesday and it's Melrose Mountain. When we got up this morning, it was a little below 50 degrees, so the cool front came through with force. Promised I was going to spend some time on the issue of money and what the scripture says about money, but sometimes you get some other insights from other little quick sayings. My father used to have a sign in the house that we lived in Riviera Beach that said, "Money isn't everything, but it's ahead of whatever's in second place." He had another sign right below it that said, "You can't take it with you." And then there was a long dots across there with a space, and it said, "But you can't go any place without it." Well, there's a lot of truth to those two sayings. One of the things that money can do for you is that it can take the pain out of life. That is, if you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from, or if you don't have to worry about whether the mortgage is going to be paid that month, there's no question that having some money certainly helps. And if you have an unexpected expense, a broken dishwasher, a broken car, or some other thing that needs to be repaired, to know that you have enough money in the bank to repair those things is a wonderful thing. There's also no question that some people get a head start. That is, they're born into families that have some money, help them through school, get a good education, therefore can get a good job, and they have all of the proper etiquette in order to hold a good job. Some other people are born into poverty, perhaps no parents or a single parent who can barely make ends meet. They have a handicap from the very beginning. Parents can't help them much. They haven't learned the proper things in life for etiquette and holding a good position. And all of those things they have to work hard for. So we see certainly that life isn't fair. Some people are born into a tougher situation than others. Some people get really good breaks. Some people invent the better mousetrap or Windows or something like that. And other people just struggle along from day to day, holding down 2 or 3 jobs, trying to make ends meet. The bottom line is we need to find some way in order to give some of those people a help up. Now, not a help up by just passing out money, because if they become welfare dependent, then they stay welfare dependent. And another generation is born welfare dependent. But we need to help them find an education, get the skills that they need in order to earn good money. Well, one of my favorite scriptures when it comes to money is found in Proverbs chapter 30, verse 7. I'm going to read to you today, unusually not from the New American Standard, but from the Living Bible, because I think it says it so clearly. Now, you can check the King James or the New American Standard and see that it says exactly the same thing, but in a language that's not quite as easy for us to understand. So from Proverbs 30, verse 7, comes these words: "O God, I beg 2 favors from thee before I die. First, help me never to tell a lie. Second, give me neither poverty nor riches. Give me just enough to satisfy my needs, for if I grow rich, I may become content without God. And if I become poor, I may have to steal, and that would insult God's holy name." What a wonderful word. Agar is writing, and he says, "Don't make me so rich that I forget my need of thee. And don't make me so poor that I have to consider stealing in order to make things work." I recently watched a television program, and it said that many people who go on unemployment, when their unemployment runs out, they start to look for an ailment, a back injury, a hurt arm, whatever it might be, to then apply for a handicap benevolent gift from the government called working for the very needs that they have has not worked, and now they're going to find some kind of a handicap to say that they're disabled and need disability benefits. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have disability benefits. Certainly, we know that there are lots of people that legitimately need them. But this particular TV study said that there was more than 25% of those currently on disability who really don't qualify for disability, who really don't need disability, who could find meaningful work and earn probably more than they get with disability, but they don't. So when we think about money today, I hope that you'll realize that Agar had a lot of wisdom. He said, be careful. God, I don't want to be so rich that I forget my need of thee, or so rich that I can see that I can do without you, because we know we can't. And don't make me so poor that I become desperate to file for disabilities or benefits that I really don't need if I would just go ahead and get the education or go ahead and just get the job that would pay even more and give me a better self-esteem and teach the next generation that working for a living is good for us. God says that we should work. And I know that each of us, as we think about our country and as we think about the mess that we're in right now, realize that part of the problem is that we all look to the government to hand out money to us for whatever reason. And if we don't get that, we feel cheated. We feel like we've been discriminated against because we don't get the same benefits that somebody else gets. It all gets back to what God said about greed, doesn't it? All gets back to people being too materialistic. I hope that you'll think about that today, and as you think about the government's programs and all of the different areas of government. Last night I heard on the television that 1 in every 5 people works for the government. That's not a real healthy situation. I hope that as we think ahead, that there'll be some people that will come along and start thinking about creative programs to put back the working man and to allow him to earn a decent living and to be able to get an education so that he can have nice things, but not that he's so rich that he forgets his need of God, and not so poor that he has to steal. God bless you and have a great day.